Hey, FlimsyLunchTray here, and welcome to World of Warships. And Massachusetts is just a classic Tier 8 OP brawler here in the game, and hopefully maybe some of you picked her up, and whether it be in the Black Friday sale not too long ago in November, or maybe you even picked this ship up through Santa containers. I think that's the thing, to be able to get this ship, if I'm not mistaken. But Massachusetts is simply just an amazing Tier 8 American brawling battleship in the game. And in the game, there are a lot of Tier 8 American battleships, and there are a good number of Tier 8 brawling battleships, and to a certain extent, of the ships I'm thinking of that brawl at Tier 8, to me, Massachusetts just is the crown jewel of the Tier 8 brawling battleship here in the game. So, this battle it was a bit of a fun battle. So this comes from 2023. I don't remember exactly when, but this was brawls that we had, and also kind of an arms race. As you can see, the buffs that are beginning to appear in the middle. So there's several different type of buffs you can get, whether that increases your ship health pool, a faster reload time, more damage to your shells, or a heal that essentially repairs your ship during the game without actually utilizing one of your repair parties. Then there'll be in 6 minutes and 18 seconds a a key area that will spawn in the middle of the battle, the map. So why is, in my opinion, biased opinion probably, that Tier 8 Massachusetts is such an overpowered brawler here in World of Warships? Now, I don't want to say that she needs nerfed. I don't want Wargaming to ever consider touching this ship with a nerf by any means, because, you know, she does have her weaknesses, which, how far do you go in pointing out the weaknesses on this ship? Maybe you would only realistically point to her shell dispersion of her main battery, because at range it's just like shooting a shotgun and praying and hoping that the shells will connect on target, and then sometimes you'll be shooting a broadside target and then miraculously one of those 9 shells connects with a Citadel with these 4 and 6mm guns. Alabama is the more main battery playable version of the Massachusetts, since both of these ships are South Dakota class battleships. Now, why is Massachusetts such a good ship? Well, I have so many videos on Massachusetts. Maybe I'll pick 2 out. But to just talk about in brief, let's dive in. So one is, of course, these are 4 and 6mm main battery guns, and why they're not accurate at range. Like, really, I don't feel like these guns start behaving to like 12 kilometers and unders reliably. They do. Even if you get bottom tiered, right, and you're seeing tier 10s, you can still reliably rely on this ship to punish some broadside punish cruisers, and just have that matching capability that the Massachusetts can dish out, even though her lack of, as we Citadel knows in North Carolina, don't ask me how, we just must have got through his battle just right. And then I guess another thing that's not so great with the Massachusetts is her ASW depth charge range, which is literally 5 kilometers, and it's immensely painful. So probably the accuracy dispersion of the guns and the only 5-kilometer range of the ASW, so we get another Citadel on the North Carolina, is being the 2 bad points of the ship. Now, in terms of the really great things, her armor scheme is very trollish, and it's very difficult to Citadel Massachusetts. When I Citadel Massachusetts, I'm like, whoa, did that just happen? It's just like that good, and kind of notorious for having a really trollish Citadel. Her AA, as we're going to have some fun with the piggy here, at Tier 8, Massachusetts has the 3rd best AA in the game. When you're looking at the filter through, I can't remember the name of this ship tool, it's North Carolina CLR, North Carolina, Constellation, and Massachusetts B in Massachusetts. So the AA on North Carolina CLR and North Carolina are both the exact same. So as the 3rd best AA, in the game, as we can also utilize our fighters, which we're actually doing a poor job in utilizing in this game, if I'm being honest. So she's got a really good AA among the tier 8 battleships, third. Her secondary battery is amazing. So she gets 11.3 kilometer when you build into her secondary range with these 5-inch secondary guns, and they just can dish out a lot of damage. And that has improved dispersion as well. So when you've gone for the full secondary build, which is what I have here in this video, as you can see, what is the name of that skill? The manual secondary battery aiming, which has a 10% reduction in secondary battery aiming, as well as a good reduction in 10% secondary battery reload time. And then over the course of, how long is that now? The secondary battery gets a additional negative 50% maximum secondary battery shell dispersion. So the longer you're aiming and locked on an enemy target, the more accurate these secondaries come, and then it caps out at the negative 60%. On top of that, her repair party, which is the saving grace in this battle, has a cooldown time of only 40 seconds. So you can take a lot of damage, excuse me, and be able to heal it back rather quickly. So as long as you're not really overextending and putting yourself like maybe in a crossfire, or you're not in threat to be shotgunned by an enemy submarine as example, you can take a lot of punishment as a brawling battleship in the game and come out alright and come out on top. So that's one of her other strengths. And also that I don't think, I mean, she's not a very massive tier 8 battleship as example, and she doesn't, to me, seems alright in terms of maneuverability, whether it be rotor shift time. Granted that when you go for a brawling build, we have concealment in the 5th slot on the upgrades, but it's like a 14.5 conceal. So now we've taken out the Bismarck that has been guarding the Colossus, and now it's time to make the sun shine. Time to make hay. With telling the Colossus, come here, piggy. I don't like CVs in World of Warships. They're my least favorite class, even more so than submarines. But one of the fun things about CVs in the game is even when you kill them, they don't die, because he got another strike off in time. So him and I apparently are going to have some fun in chat here in just a moment. But as you saw, we just pushed up the whole flank, and we got to punish a lot between having these 4/6s. Even though they have the greatest accuracy, we get to utilize our repair party with that 40-second cooldown time. We get to be rather trollish with our armor scheme, where it's more difficult to be citadeled by enemy battleships, enemy cruisers. We got to flex with our AA, and so far taking out only 24 planes. And then, of course, utilizing our secondaries to deal out additional damage in this rather short battle, as it didn't take too long in collapsing the enemy team here. So that's just one of the reasons, among many reasons, this is why I feel that Massachusetts is probably about one of the best tier 8 brawling battleships in the game. Now, there's been more ships, you've seen the VIII who's been sailing with us. I mean, VIII's rather decent, but I would still choose the Massachusetts over a VIII. You have Odin, you've got Tirpitz, you've got Bismarck, right? If Massachusetts had a Hydro, that would be insanely that would be really OP. That would just be way too much, as we almost die there to the enemy battleship. So, Massachusetts, the tier 8 brawling battleship. It's kind of funny in this game, though, as I kind of talk more about the game in general at this point. This Odin just, like, left. You can see the last place he was detected was B6, and he just left the game. Apparently he's up in A1 or something, because Hornet just took out to North Carolina, and we have no idea where this last battleship is. So Odin is fun to brawl in, but she's not as good as the Massachusetts, as an example. So I hope you liked today's video, in talking about Massachusetts and why she's rather overpowered here in the game. So we're going to go to post-battle results. So we're going to get 2 million credits, because we were taking some nice economic boosters, 163,000 damage, Only 38 main battery hits, 24 plane shutdown, 3 destroyed, with 4 citadels. So we were citadeling that poor North Carolina much more than I anticipated. With 126 secondary battery hits, and also dealing with that pesky submarine that we saw early on. So thankful we did not die to him. We're going to top the team with 2,000 base XP. So this was definitely a raffle stomping and then some, and flexing Massachusetts, but also flexing our skills, as this is the ship that I have the most battles in here in World of Warships. You can actually, we took 114,000 damage. So between that 40-second cooldown time on that repair party, and then also utilizing the heal buff, you know, that the buffs, that was the only reason we lived. Otherwise, by all accounts, we would have definitely been dead. So that's one of the fun things, that when you are in brawls, here with the arms race mode, it's a lot of fun playing Massachusetts at the tier 8. So I think she's quite fit for tier 8 brawls here on Sleeping Giant and many more maps in the game. So if you have the Massachusetts, let me know your thoughts on the ship. And if you have questions, you know, drop them down below in the comments and we can chat. So if you liked today's video, give a thumbs up. If you didn't, give a thumbs down. Subscribe if you want to see more. If you're subscribed, thanks so much. I appreciate it. And we'll catch you next time. Take care.